Hello, everyone. This is the Reverend speaking, and today we're going to talk about a cryptid story, one that may or may not be true. It's something I heard from a friend, a story their mother told them, but I don't have any verification. Their mother passed away about 4 years ago. Let's get into it. My husband and I, we went into the woods to go camping. At the time, we were living in the Appalachian Mountains down in North Carolina. And we liked to camp off the beaten path a long ways, something that I won't do anymore because of this event. Well, we were about 3/4 of a mile, upwards to a mile, in that range, off the Appalachian Trail in the deep forest. We were camped out beside a small pond, probably an acre to an acre and a half. Not a lake, but a nice little pond. And we planned on doing our fishing there to feed ourselves through the week, which is how long we intended to stay. The first day, fishing went pretty well. We caught some catfish and some bass, and we ate some of the fish and released what we weren't planning on eating. That night, after we went to bed, we heard something rustling outside, something that sounded big. My husband had his gun, and he just figured it was probably a bear because, black bears were an issue in this area. We weren't really worried because it sounded like it was just digging up the fish scraps we'd thrown away, the food scraps. We figured it'd eat those food scraps and just leave us alone because the rest of our food was tied up about 12 feet high in a tree, somewhere it couldn't really reach. Well, the next morning we wake up and our backpacks have been completely gone through. Something had taken our food down from the 12-foot height, ripped them open, and eaten all of the contents. The only thing it left was the oil, and I guess it just didn't see that as food. Now, this was not, it didn't look like something a bear would do. It looked more like a person had gone through things because wrappers were opened. There weren't any teeth marks on anything. Some of the items were just gone. And then we saw the footprints. Canine. It seemed like a dog had been there, but we didn't hear a dog, and this didn't look like something a dog would do. Over the next 2 days, we kept seeing things out of the corner of our eye, just a dark shadow that by the time we turned around and looked, it was gone. Then on day 4, we decided to pack up. We didn't normally do this, but something was just weird. We were getting a creepy feeling that something was out of place. We kept hearing sounds that just weren't right. We kept seeing things. The sounds weren't human, but they weren't a dog either. We heard howls, but not a wolf, not a coyote. We're familiar with those sounds. We're familiar with the normal sounds of the wood, and we just didn't know what this was. Well, as we were walking back to the trail, my husband put his hand on my shoulder and told me to run and not look back. No matter what happened, don't look back. And then he pulled out his gun and fired 3 shots. I looked to see what it was, and I was looking at a werewolf. A real werewolf. My husband yelled to run again, and I did. I bolted straight for the car. I ran half a mile without stopping through the woods, hearing gunshots and then screaming. I went straight to the local police, and they got a search party together to look for my husband. They didn't find him. They found a lot of blood. They found canine footprints, massive dog footprints, twice the size of a normal large dog, 10 inches across. Massive canine footprints. But I overheard one of the sheriffs that was there, I don't know if it was the sheriff or the deputy, saying that he could see similarities between this and a couple of other disappearances in this area. No one was ever found. This creature killed my husband. I know it did. And it would have killed me too if I'd stayed. A couple of weeks later, I found out I was pregnant. And our little girl had to grow up without her father because of this thing. So I warn you, when you go into the woods of Appalachia, be well armed. Don't make our mistake. Don't think a little 22 is going to protect you.